Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. On deck, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Detroit Lions and the New York Giants. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime, but kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And thank you, Coach. We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Detroit Lions and the New York Giants. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, you take a look at this Giants ball club. They've been playing their best football of the year, winners of 4 in a row. Meanwhile, for the Lions here, they've come in on a nice run of recent form, 4 wins out of 5.
And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. They did have a few reasons for concern defensively, but all in all, they'll take a repeat here if they could get it.
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? Fielded about a yard deep. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general.
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator said right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
And he stopped immediately there. Making the tackle, Gerald Hodges. The New York Giants offensively, their starters, and one guy out wide to take a look at, Sterling Shepard.
A really mature man in every way coming out of Oklahoma. Personally and professionally. You can play him out wide, play him in the slot. He can return punts for you. He's a dynamic playmaker.
Set! Blue 90! Blue 90!
To throw on second down, Bates. And his throw's going to be incomplete. A look now at the starters on the defensive side for the Lions. They were excellent last week in the win over the Chargers.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key. So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive.
Four down, check, four down. Gun!
From the gun, Bates. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 24. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Josh Morrow on the stop. All right, let's get a peek at these starters here in the Golden Child, Golden Tate.
Love his versatility because you can use him anywhere in your offense. And he's an excellent kick returner. Loves to play the game, plays with passion.
The rush defense stout on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. second down. Here's Stafford. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. 19 yards that time for number 19. Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Time to look at the defensive starters for the New York Giants. They come into this one in the bottom half of the NFL against the run, number 19 overall.
This is an area of the game that they definitely have to improve because right now, against the pass, top 10 in the league. But against the run, that's where the struggles have come in. Got to find a way to make sure they stop runners before they get started.
To throw on second down is Stafford. He completes it to Tate. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. Stafford on first down. And that's complete to Luke Wilson. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. A gain of 6 there on first.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that.
Like that?
Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where a play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, do I have that dagger play? Do I have that play and just finish them off right now? Because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Kareem Martin in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes and throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is starting.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line. Made them kick a field goal. And for the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round.
Detroit! Detroit!
Looking to throw on second down. Bates. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess.
Detroit! Detroit!
This is Gallman. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a fourth down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. Dances by him. That'll go as a 39-yard punt, give him 9 on the return, and the Lions will take over. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November, but they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Stafford to the former Seahawk Wilson for Lions first.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. But he used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm is going forward. Incomplete pass. On 2nd and 10, Stafford. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time, and it's 3rd down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. Good contain, no gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down.
They dialed up the blitz on 3rd down, and your worry as a defense that they can hit you with a big play in that situation. Instead, the blitz pays off, able to rally to the football and make the play.
And the Giants ready to come out now. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up the 1st down and change our momentum?
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
To throw again. Bates to Shepard, complete over the middle. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. To give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. So finally completes his first pass. Credit the defense, though. They've been showing him some different looks, keeping him off balance.
Yeah, I like the observation that you had there, because when you give him different looks and give any quarterback different looks, it takes just a little bit longer to process sometimes, and you don't throw the ball with the same confidence. You're not sure that that's where you should go with the football. And that's worked for the defense early in this game. And now he's got his first completion. Let's see if his confidence comes back, and he starts to get into a nice little groove.
Gallman will run it. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Hot, hot.
On the toss, there goes Gallman. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Now Gallman, and that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Gone! Gone, gone! Gone, gone! Gone, gone!
Operating from the gun, Bates. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Damon Harrison, the one on the stop.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 10 to start things out. The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. On 2nd down, Williams. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. Tackle made that time by Dalvin Tomlinson.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. On 3rd down, Stafford. It's brought in left side by Tate. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. They get 14 yards there at a first down. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
A gain of 3, second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it third down and 6.
But now they're in a spot that every team tells us when we have our production meetings they don't want to be in, 3rd and long. And that's because those back-to-back running plays just didn't accomplish a whole lot.
The Lions on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Out of the gun, Stafford. They're able to locate Wilson. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Starting to rack up the yardage here in this first half. 5 catches now and a first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 11 more on that one and another first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
They stick to the ground game on first down. It's Williams. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Now a handoff. Here's Williams. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On first down, Stafford here. Caught right side, Tate. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs as we just saw there.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
40 got. 40 got.
Now it's Stafford off the bootleg. It's caught on the right side. Williams. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
They go back to the ground with Williams. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Floating one incomplete. Golden Tate, his intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
This offense 2 for 2 on 3rd downs on this drive. They're in for a tough task here, though, 3rd and long. Now Stafford. That's complete right around the 8. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short. And
the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And that will make it 6-0. So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
You sound like you're going negative on me.
I was.
Sounds like you're thinking the three's just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So.
Well, here's the deal. Getting the three is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
Here now, time to discuss Odell Beckham Jr. You better believe that he's well aware he has 0 catches right now, and they're losing, so he's probably a little hungry.
And you know the guys on defense are aware as well. And they're really excited that he has no catches, but they're also worried because a lot of times it's like the ticking time bomb. The longer you hold him down, when he finally explodes, look out.
Yeah, no catches, though, so far in this game.
Set. 319. 319.
Throwing on first down. Bates. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Sean Robinson getting in there from his defensive tackle spot to snow him under for a loss of 4. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
They'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
On first down, Bates. Caught left side, it's Beckham. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. They give him a gain of 37.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make the play on the football.
An incomplete, crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, second down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Able to get there and pick it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
After the interception, here's Stafford. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. And who's got it? The Giants. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Another shot from the 9 on second and goal.
Detroit! Detroit! Now let's go!
From the gun, Bates. The quick slant caught. Able to get 9 out of that pitch and catch, but now third and goal.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes third and goal.
Set!
Look at this, a tight end carry. Wilson, his first touchdown on the year. And the Giants have tied it here, and they can take the lead if they hit the PAT.
Great field position has to be one of the best friends an offense can have. When you don't have very far to go, you should cash it in with points.
So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it was finished off by a touchdown by the New York Giants. Rosas now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Well, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Love his pocket awareness, able to slip out of the sack. But once you take your eyes off the receivers, once your eyes come down and you see the rush, hard to get back downfield and find an open target. Fortunate, that one just wound up as an incomplete pass.
They'll hand it off now. Williams. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. On the give, this is their fullback. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down.
And that was a good collision right there. And I know this as a former defender. If you're playing linebacker, you're going through a checklist on every play. Who you think's going to get the ball, where you think the ball's going to go. Rarely do you expect the fullback position to get it. And on that play he did. So you got to steel yourself at that point because the contact is going to be strong.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
All right, now look at this.
On 1st and 10, Bates. And nearly picked off there, almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down.
A pretty rocky start in this game for the guy throwing the ball. Already has thrown 1 interception. Almost threw a 2nd one right there. All he's doing right now is giving the defense a whole lot of confidence.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Bates. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. A gain of 32 that time.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down. Bates. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes.
I know there would be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. Back to throw. Bates. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. They were trying to get it there to Sterling Shepard. And that'll make it 3rd down. The Giants on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 14.
Set. Blue 90.
Looking to throw. Bates. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
Now Stafford. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's second down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. The final shot before the break, Stafford. He's going to let one fly for Tate. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we've reached halftime here at MetLife Stadium with the Giants out in front. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, all right, Brandon, thank you very much. Hi again, everyone. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the NFL as we are officially into the second half of the season. We'll start up at New Era Field just outside of Buffalo. And it's the Bills who lead that one late in the second quarter. Kelvin Benjamin, a touchdown reception. From there, we'll stay in the AFC East as we jet down the coast to check on the Dolphins at Hard Rock Stadium. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Houston Texans. Deshaun Watson leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. Lastly, let's head to Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. See what's happening with the Bengals. And you can see they trail in that matchup against the Pittsburgh Steelers. A touchdown pass there for Ben Roethlisberger. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Gotten and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a first down throw. Stafford looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Tate. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now a play fake here on first down. Finds Roberts left side. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Johnson on the counter. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1.
That was an example of excellent defense there. They stopped him. So now he brings up a 3rd down situation. If I'm calling plays here, I make sure I put it in the hands of my quarterback and get it to a receiver real fast. I'm not running the ball here.
And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 23 yards on the play.
Really? Really? Did we just see that? That's a big catch. One-handed, I might add, to pick up a 1st down.
I was going to say on 3rd down for the defense, it's one thing to give up a reception. You just kind of shake your head on a one-handed catch to pick up the 1st. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll be a 2nd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, gets him 9 yards and a 1st.
That's something we have not seen him do to this point, and that's take the ball, tuck it, and run.
Exactly right. His first carry of the game. I guess he picked a good time to do it.
He certainly did. Not only did he have the element of surprise.
And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Michael Roberts, his first touchdown on the year. And the Lions are in for 6. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off.
And they're going to get to him, a sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line.
Well, they tried to get 2 and ended up getting none because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready. This one taken just inside the 10. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the 3rd quarter. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker board?
Yeah, those 2.
First play of the drive going for 14 and a 1st down.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think they were looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
Here's Gallman, and very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
Gun! Detroit!
Operating from the gun, Bates. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. Throw left side complete. It's Roberts. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pickup there, a 22.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense, and reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? It sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him.
Holding offense.
That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that, because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Following the penalty, it's Williams. And an alley to run. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. 2 yards on the pickup. It'll be second down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Here's Stafford now on second down. And his throw here's incomplete. Strong safety Landon Collins, the one who got a hand in there, knocked it away.
But sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
Now it's Stafford. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. The 21 yards there as they convert on third.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case, the feet. Doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
Olivier Vernon brings him down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
The Lions on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 8. Stafford. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. They lost a big chunk, 6 yards there, and it leads to 4th down.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a third down stop by them.
And now out come the Giants. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. And He'll just protect the football and go down and take the sack.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
To throw on second down, Bates. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. To throw on third down, Bates. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
They'll fake it. Now Stafford. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in the game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that catch?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better. On 1st and 10, Stafford. He'll get this one to Galladay. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. From the gun, here's Stafford. This will be caught at about the 6. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. It's the Lions holding onto the football, and they also have the lead as we start quarter number 4. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Stafford looks to throw again. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because second down, that gives me that option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
They come out here in the eye. Throwing again is Stafford. And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
All right, Captain, it's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you kind of run out of your running plays, fire another one into the end zone.
Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And that now makes this a 15-7 game. From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
And New York set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Looking to throw on second down. Bates over the middle to Beckham. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. He has a first down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. And they'll run it here. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. They'll run again here with Gallman. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Black 99 Philly, here we go.
On third and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. It's caught. Shepard. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 90.
To throw on second down. Bates. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Devon Kennard in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hadn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it.
See what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. And that is incomplete. Charles, I think back to your earlier statement about the visitors being the underdogs needing to win that turnover battle. And this defense, they forced 2 turnovers so far. Big reason why they lead this game.
Yeah, and I know defenses always talk about getting turnovers in bunches, getting those takeaways. 2's not a bunch, but it's plenty in this game, exactly the formula they need. And I got to tell you, partner, I like it when you think back to something I said that actually comes true, that's actually right.
That happens more often than you might think. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. So here come the Lions now. Their defense forced the turnover on downs. They've got the lead. They're in good shape, but can't go into a shell here, right? Still got to be careful.
Yeah, because they're still a long way away from kneel down time. So they've got to work on getting first downs, keep the sticks moving, right? Keep the clock going, and above all, ball secure. Don't turn it over.
third down. Stafford. It's caught. Jones. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. Stafford to Jones, enough for a Lion first down. Stafford on first down. Roberts with it over the middle. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7. Out of the gun, Stafford. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game in the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Odell Beckham now marching back onto the field. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. Second down. I guess they're in a situation now, fourth quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Bates. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
He has just not had his focus in this game. It's not one drop. It's not 2. That's 3 for this contest.
Yeah, uncharacteristic for any NFL receiver, and he's no exception. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Jonathan Jones that time, the one who got a hand in, knocked it away. So they've gone for it twice now on fourth down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
And Detroit getting set to go now. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes.